بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ليس البر أن تولوا وجوهكم قبل المشرق والمغرب ولكن البر من آمن بالله واليوم الآخر والملائكة والكتاب والنبيين وآتى المال على حبه ذوي القربى واليتامى والمساكين وابن السبيل وأقام الصلاة وآتى الزكاة والموفون بعهدهم إذا عاهدوا والصابرين في البأساء والضراء وحين البأس أولئك الذين صدقوا وأولئك هم المتقون صدق الله العظيم اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا ونبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين أما بعد Alhamdulillah, by the fadl of Allah Jalla Majduhu, every command in the Quran, every verse in the Quran, every word and every letter of the Quran can be witnessed in the personality of Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam. Therefore, it is very easy to act upon Quran by just witnessing the seerah and the character and the conduct of the Prophet ﷺ. And that is how a person reaches the doors of mercy, the doors of closeness to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. One of the character of the Prophet ﷺ and his conduct, and also the command of Quran, which has been emphasized greatly, is to be beneficial and make yourself useful for your relatives, for people who are related to you through your mother and your father. And neglecting that deprives the person from the mercy. That is why this is also called Silatul Raham, that connecting and establishing a relationship with the people who are connected to you through bloodline of your mother and father, in which your uncles, aunts, and all these people come, brothers, sisters, and all these. And as I mentioned before as well, that Silatul Raham, that's the same word we use for mercy, which is Rahmah, and the same word which is used for Raham, meaning the womb. And as I said, that there is a reason why it is mentioned like that, and why the same root word is we use for mercy and compassion, and also one of the Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's name, or his many names, Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, they also have that word as well, the origin. And Raham and womb indicates how our conduct should be with our people of relatives. One is that many people have complained the relatives are not good with them. You see, it does not matter how the baby in the womb is, but the womb and the mother looks after and protects the baby. So it doesn't matter the baby is not behaving well or however it is, but the womb looks after it. So this is a lesson for us that it doesn't matter how the relatives behave with us, but our behavior should be like the womb, meaning still beneficial. Womb provides food and nourishment to the baby without asking. So this indicates that I should be focusing and finding out how my relatives are living, who is in need, who is in trouble, and then helping them even without actually them asking. Okay. That is called Silatul Raham. And the Prophet ﷺ mentioned that Silman qata'ak, join with the one who cuts away with you. And also the treatment of the mother and the womb is selfless in the sense they don't know even them, and the baby, who it is, the personality, etc., etc., it looks after. So a person should also not want anything in return for that. Like the mother, like the womb does not expect anything in return, but rather actually it becomes useful for the baby in all its needs, etc., etc. So there are many other lessons one can draw, and womb looks after the baby until the baby matures enough to live in the world. So this shows that some people ask that how long we should be good with the relatives, and the lesson is that until you move to the next world from the womb of this dunya, this world is also like a big womb. It's around, actually, you may say the earth is around, the universe is round. So there are many. So this is raham when you do on someone. When you see that it entails all of this actually. And Allah Subhanahu wa Taala has made this as an example for others. A person naturally feels inclined towards loving his blood relatives, his or her siblings and aunts. There is a blood relationship. This is done so that the person knows how he or she should react with other people. Here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has helped in extraordinary way that He's created a bond where naturally I like many non-Muslims, for example, who are not believers even, they say animals, they follow their mother, father, their siblings, etc., non-Muslims as well. So this is done by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There is no, by instincts, by guidance, by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, there is no, actually you may say, kamal or skill or any excellence in the people or myself when I'm inclined towards. So if I am feeling hungry, I don't have any quality in that. Feeling hungry is a natural thing. Similarly, loving mother, father, sibling, his uncle, etc., naturally. It's a natural phenomena. So, but it shows you how to be with others. That others who are same age, you treat them as your uncles, your siblings, your aunts, your daughters, your sons, etc., etc. The same kind of conduct should the same kind of conduct should actually extend to the others. And example Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given that these people who you love because of natural inclination, by instincts, and Allah has done that already for you. It's for blood. Now others you should do for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If Allah is the reason, then you should be similarly respectful, caring and compassionate for others as well. If not, then but if person even have lost this, actually he's going against his nature, then that person is really deprived, is mahroom, if a person. Because this is even animals practice that. Even mother animal or father, be it from animals, birds, others, they actually have this. Now, the personality which I would like to mention, which very few people know and mention, is one of the great personalities who had a special link with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Sayyeda Hadhaqa radiallahu ta'ala anha. Even I think 0.001 people know the name of this personality. It was a great companion. She was known by her title, her nickname, Shaima. And many people, they think that was her name. It was not her name. That was her just a title and like a nickname. And the name was the one which I mentioned. And this is the only sister of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. So it is strange that the Muslim believes in his Prophet and he doesn't know the sisters and brothers of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, especially her. So she was at about 4, 5 years, 6 years old when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was taken by her mother, Sayyeda Halima radiallahu ta'ala anha, to look after the Prophet ﷺ, as it was a tradition of the Arab people, to live in a healthy, free environment. So at that time, Sayyeda Shaima was like a young girl, and she looked after, fed, played, looked after in a way like you do with baby, with the Prophet ﷺ. And she used to pray even her in childhood when she was young, "Oh Allah, let me see and let me live and give long life to my brother Muhammad until I see him becoming a mature man and he becoming a great leader and suppress his enemies and those who are envious of him." He, like a song she used to sing in childhood for the Prophet ﷺ. So it seems that actually that this family, because also witnessed the miracle of Rasulullah ﷺ, his blessed chest being open and things. So they knew it was a special baby, and they were Muslim long before, which it comes in the books actually, that they came Muslim in the last years. That the Islam was declared inwardly long before, and this was when the public know, because it was a culture of Bedouin tribal culture, and at that time. But anyhow, she says that when my mother was looking for babies, all other rich women neglected and ignored my mother due to how she looked and how she was dressed. But Sayyeda Amina, the mother of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, overlooked our state and saw us as people which were very strange to us, as never had this done to this, my mother, and she has been honored like this. And also she says that during the long and this day, none would pick up us or give attention to us or entertain our request for the having a baby to look after. And my mother and father and other family were becoming very, very anxious that we may not get any child and then actually not get any help as such. Because at that time, that was like a means of income as well. But yes, then when we were approached, there were other families as well who wanted as well. But we actually were honored by this. To my mother's pride, Sayyeda Amina placed her beautiful child in my mother's lap and honored us. A lady behind us was saying, how is that this last child due to being he is orphaned, and how we may do not get the payments, the yearly or the monthly, bi-monthly payment or some things which they used to get. But she said that my mother actually did not actually pay attention to that. And then actually she said that we discovered and witnessed a great barakah in here. So Sayyidina Abdul Aziz Dabagh Rahmatullah Alayhi used to say, she said that some lesson which we can learn for ourselves is that no matter how a person is dressed, do not judge people according to what they look like, how their car, how their house, how their social status is, but treat them as fellow human beings. Look at the example of great mother, grandmother, Sayyeda Amina radiallahu ta'ala anha. So imagine the great goodness they had. Also Sayyida Halima, that she also looked after, that she did not care he was an orphan, how sometimes we treat people according to what can they give us. What is in for me? How will this person help me? The poor normal, we give attention to some rich people, some who have high social government status, that they might help one day, and the others. But the character shows the other way actually, that the greatest blessing she achieved, Sayyida Halima, by actually looking and considering the weak in the society, considering the have-nots, considering the needy and others. And similarly, Sayyida Amina radiallahu anha selected her based upon her character and conduct, and not looking upon their status as such. So this is a lesson for everyday life, that a person should look and treat people as fellow human beings based upon their conduct and need, and just not actually be impressed by someone's day, because if someone is rich, they're not going to give you their half of their money, or their status, they're not going to give you. After all, if you care for the poor or the needy, for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah azza wa jal is ghani, and He is more powerful, and He has more treasures than anyone, who at your time you will be helped. So Sayyidina Abdul Aziz Dabagh rahmahullah said that rather be a compassionate person to all, especially the needy one, especially to the ones who is looked down by the society. That's what in Al-Ibriz he said, that the person who is looked down upon the society, Allah's mercy is very close to that person who is looked down upon, who is not actually given any status. And also he said, no matter how desperate one is, do not be hopeless, but have trust in Allah. It was due to the trust of Sayyida Halima and Sayyida Amina radiallahu ta'ala anha that they got to live with and service of each other. And imagine what a blessed lady Sayyeda Amina radiallahu anha was, and Halima, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, those, their blessed names also indicate their status. And Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was such a person that even he alayhi salatu wasalam says that even the stones, when I used to pass by, they recognized me, I am the messenger of Allah. So how on earth a person, when he sallallahu alaihi wasallam lived in the womb of his mother for 9 months, and the womb and the mother would not recognize who this personality is. So it is quite strange and far-fetched ideas which some people mention from the books. You see, we follow the books, but we also only actually believe in the books and all those historical accounts which actually also make common sense and which actually befits the status of the Prophet ﷺ. So we do not believe or actually any such account, such historical account, which actually even a common sense cannot recognize. The stones are recognizing the Prophet ﷺ, the trees are recognizing, and then rather this, then a person who says this, he is really accusing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala actually of something which is not good. He is as though accusing that Allah has chosen the wrong parents for Rasulullah. Who was the choice of parents was Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose the parents. Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam didn't have a choice as such, or the parents didn't have choice, so it was Allah azza wa jal who chose. So wouldn't, when you and me choose a mother for our children, or actually for our son or daughter-in-law, we want to choose the best. And when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala chose, He would choose the best actually. And as we know, his family, his tribe and everything was the best of the best, even from worldly point of view. And so this is. And then he says, Sayyidina Abdul Aziz Rahmanullah, if your intention is true and pure, no matter what and how is your state, you will be chosen by Allah, because Allah looks for purity of the heart. And also, he alayhi rahmah said, ignore gossiping and hearsay of others, and surely you will find your true way and true path, just as Sayyida Halima radiallahu ta'ala anha did. And there are many, many stories of Sayyida Shaima, how she looked after the Prophet ﷺ. But one which I often mention, which shows the love, that after Rasulullah ﷺ left when he was about 4 or 5 years old, he never returned to there, because he lived in Makkah, and then the prophethood was announced. Then actually he went to Medina. When on the 8th year of Hijrah, after the Fath of Makkah, a big invitation was given to the tribes, and the many tribes, even the tribes of Ta'if and Bani Sa'd and Awzan and others, they did not accept Islam, but rather came out with a very, very fierce, very, very strong and enemy army, being an enemy of 30,000, imagine, actually 30,000 actually people at that time. So after the Fath Makkah, the Muslims, so this battle took place on a place called Hunain, which is between Makkah and Taif. Taif is almost about 100 kilometers from Makkah, and in way between. And Halima's Sadiya radiallahu ta'ala's tribe also lived nearby. It is further about 60, 70 kilometers from Taif. So in that area she belongs to, and all the tribes around that area came together under leadership of Malik bin Auf, and actually they were fierce battle to many, many Muslims, Sahaba Rizwanullah alayhim ajmain. They were martyred, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gave final victory to Prophet Islam himself took place. And so all these people were made captives and all their money and things, and like it was the law of that time, the booty of war and thing, their stocks and their flocks of actually sheep and other things. So at that time, there were many people from her tribe also went in the war, and they were also fought. So that is the time when she went actually, and Sahaba Ikram, because I had not seen her as such before, she was an old woman now. She was 5, 6 year old at that time, and now Prophet Islam was around, actually, you may say 60 or so. So she must be in late 60s. So she came and introduced herself as sister of Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. They did not actually recognize her, but they did not deny. Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam also, a long time ago, he also mentioned that any sign. But when her name and her, was mentioned, he Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam recognized her. And while she was standing there, he placed and spread his blessed chadar and mantle for her, showing that how a person should treat relatives, even far many relatives, although she was related to her by milk and fostering sister she was. But here we see the prophetic conduct which I was mentioning, that even though they seen after a long time, even actually the relatives do not want to live with you as such, because they did not live with the Prophet Islam after that as well. So Rasulullah recognized her, honored her in a fashion and in a way actually that he would honor mother, elderly, and sat with her, talked with her, and mentioned to her that if she wants to live with him, she will be always loved and honored as she is with Prophet ﷺ, and if she wants to return, so she even interceded on behalf of her tribe and many, the hundreds and tens of thousands of people, and Prophet ﷺ freed them all and returned their property as well to them. By just actually, they were not even like a blood relatives as such actually, but were far distant, because he lived in that tribe, and Sayyida Halima lived in that tribe. So because she was like a mother, and the other people, although they were not related to Sayyida Halima in any way, but from the tribe, they were known as uncles, mamus, and khalas, meaning maternal aunts and sisters. So this shows that the Prophet ﷺ would go how far he will go to actually recognize the rights of people and honor the rights of people, even when he found a very small link actually. So it was said to him, she interceded. So this shows that how a great personality she was. She did not also freed herself her own, or like menfolk, but also others. She said that, Ya Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, there are many of your uncles and aunts and sisters and brothers. So Prophet Islam mentioned that yes, you are actually, but she was indicating to the others. So when he Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam knew that, he said to the Sahaba Ikram Rizwanullahi Majmain, from this tribe, free them all actually as such. And then he Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam mentioned to her that you will be loved and honored if you want to stay, and if you want to go back to your family, it's up to you. And she chose to go back to her family with the gifts and things. So that was and she lived her life actually quite actually many years after. And because of her, hundreds and thousands of these people accepted Islam actually, because she mentioned to them the conduct of the Prophet ﷺ and showed that look at this leader, how good he is, and how honorable he is and how much he honors the rights of others, the very, very, very small truths, weak links even, and distant links even, and he honors that. So that made them, the war did not make them Muslim, and although they became prisoners, did not make them Muslim, but this conduct of the Prophet ﷺ made them Muslim. And the Sahaba Ikram Rizwanul alayhim Majmain, when they saw this, they also actually followed this example. And many a time it had happened that when in their war expedition they will be going and they will be knowing that, for example, in this village, this tribe is related to one of the mothers of believers, or any distant relatives of the Prophet Islam, or Prophet Islam had a friendship here, they would honor that tribe, that village. And many a times in the books it has been mentioned that they left actually that tribe, even if there was, like, let's say, a war going on, they would not actually go near them and leave that city out. Due to this conduct of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and due to the honoring of the Prophet ﷺ. So, mashallah, we learn a lot from her life and her mother's life, and how Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wa jalla wa ala blesses people who have purity of heart and who do not deal with people on the basis of social status and wealth and these things, because these things have no value in the sight of Allah Jalla Maidu. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in His sight, the value of the heart, the character and the conduct. And in this day and age we need this actually, because unfortunately people are complaining, relatives are not in communication, mostly there is a war, a tribal or family type war going on, competition, negatively competing, negatively putting down, and they forgot the conduct of the Prophet Islam altogether, that he said, be good with the one who is not good, join with the one who cuts, and actually bless the one who curses you or tries to deprive you. So if this conduct once understand, then one would never say, oh, they are not good with me, or they do not do this, they are not. Because he's saying this shows that he is not aware what the Prophet Islam mentioned about these things. Because if he was, he wouldn't be saying this thing, he will be doing the opposite. Then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blesses people in His own way. We are good with people, it's a very sad reality, to who can fulfill our need or who our nafs likes. Yeah, this is my friend. My nafs is treated by someone very well. Yeah, he is my friend. The relative is not my enemy, but he is my friend. Because why? We have a relationship with people and we are good because of our nafs. Not good because of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. A person is good to you, me, or he honors me, he loves me. Yeah, he's a good guy. Yeah, he honors me, and he is a good person. He helps me. He's a good person. He says salam to me. All this means that your nafs actually is entertained, and you are good. So one is being good with people because of your nafs, and one is being good with people because of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. One is good being people because of the Prophet ﷺ, because everyone knows that the Prophet ﷺ cared and loved his ummah, and ummah means actually obviously the people who you are dealing with, actually they are somehow in that ummah. So these are the reasons as well. And when ones have these reasons in front of him or her, then it becomes easier to have a good conduct, which after all a person himself will benefit. Jazakumullah khairan jaza. Subhanakallah wa bihamdika. Nashhadu an la ilaha illa anta. Bismillah. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Wassalamu ala Rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in, amma ba'd. So now inshallah in the beginning 10-15 minutes we'll be doing the muraqabah, purification of lataif, and the next 15 minutes or so we will be focusing on the lives of these blessed personalities which has been mentioned, the Prophet al-Islam, childhood, and the personalities of Sayyidina Haris, the husband of Sayyida Halima, Sayyida Shaima, radiyallahu ta'ala anhuma, and the incident which I have mentioned, so that we may draw an inspiration from it to change our conduct and behavior with our people who are related to us. And तो ये जो है, तो आज जो है मुराक़बा, ये सईदा हलीमा की फैमिली एंड नबी अलैहिस्सलाम का बचपन और आपका जो अखलाक़ आलिया उनसे उस पर तवज्जो करेंगे ताकि हम में भी हिम्मत पैदा हो और आप अलैहिस्सलाम के खुल्क़ की इत्तबा आपकी मोहब्बत में नसीब हो। तो तरीक़ाकार तो आपको इल्मी है. You should be those who come in this majlis are those who are supposed to, who know the methodology of transfer and things. Astaghfirullah. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين. الله لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم لا تأخذه سنة ولا نوم له ما في السماوات وما في الأرض من ذا الذي يشفع عنده إلا بإذنه يعلم ما بين أيديهم وما خلفهم ولا يحيطون بشيء من علمه إلا بما شاء وسع كرسيه السماوات والأرض ولا يئوده حفظهما وهو العلي العظيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل أعوذ برب الفلق من شر ما خلق ومن شر غاسق إذا وقب ومن شر النفاثات في العقد ومن شر حاسد إذا حسد. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل أعوذ برب الناس ملك الناس إله الناس من شر الوسواس الخناس الذي يوسوس في صدور الناس من الجنة والناس. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أستغفر الله أستغفر الله أستغفر الله أستغفر الله الذي لا إله إلا هو الحي القيوم وأتوب إليه. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين. اللهم يا ربي بجاه سيدنا محمد ابن عبد الله صلى الله عليه وعلى آله وسلم اجمع بيني وبين سيدنا محمد بن عبد الله في الدنيا قبل الآخرة. الصلاة والسلام عليك عليك يا رسول الله وعلى آلك وأصحابك عليك يا حبيب الله. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. لا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله. لا إله إلا الله. لا إله إلا الله. الملك الحق المبين. لا إله إلا الله. وحده 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 لا إله إلا الله. لا شريك له لا شريك له لا شريك له. لا إله إلا الله. له الملك وله الحمد. لا إله إلا الله. محمد رسول الله. لا إله إلا الله. إلا الله إلا الله. يا الله يا رحمن يا قدوس يا غفار يا تواب يا كريم. لا إله إلا الله. محمد رسول الله. إنا لله إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. وإنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. إنا لله وإنا إليه راجعون. So now you may begin with the three muraqabats of humility, shukr and tawakkul in your mind, relying upon Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Begin with the purification of latai from the very top one, from the beginning, purifying all of them and all the body, and then individual one by one, starting from the red one up to the white one, and then do not wait but just transfer after about 10 minutes or so, after doing 30 seconds, 1 minute each, and then inshallah going with myself back in time to the tribe of Bani Sa'd and the Prophet Islam's childhood, and then the conduct of the family, inshallah. So about 10-15 minutes in that muraqabah, and then we'll come back, inshallah. सल्ली अला सय्यदिना व मौलाना मुहम्मदिन व अला आलिहि व अस्हाबिहि वसल्लिम। अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला सय्यदिना व मौलाना मुहम्मदिन व अला आलिहि व अस्हाबिहि वसल्लिम। अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला सय्यदिना व मौलाना मुहम्मदिन व अला आलिहि व अस्हाबिहि वसल्लम। अल्हम्दुलिल्लाह। इंशाल्लाह किसी ने कोई बात पूछनी है, बयान करनी है, एनीथिंग one wants to mention or ask, please, they are welcome. आज कितने बजे है रखी हुई है? 7:15 पूछ लियो जो लोकल होते हैं। अच्छा ठीक है, फिर अज़ान दे ले, सुन्नत पढ़ के फिर